In a small building on Highway 162 in Pontoon Beach, Illinois, is a booze business getting bigger by the minute. A clear liquid that started filling Carl Levering's mind back in 2008.
Those 3 years in the kitchen, I mean, you name it, he tried it.
He eventually ended up using corn.
This is how we start with the ground corn.
And by November of 2011, he was bottling his handcrafted vodka.
So every bottle you've ever seen on a shelf, at a restaurant, anything else like that, has come from this small location in Pontoon Beach.
So far, that's more than 70,000 bottles.
And we have a kind of a cult following with our vodka, which has been a nice surprise.
So have all the ribbons and medals.
In 2012, we won the San Francisco World Wine and Spirits Competition. We took a gold medal home there. There was over 1,200 competitors from 62 different countries.
Not only did this team set out to create a clean, crisp vodka.
You can make a martini from it. You can make a vodka Red Bull with ours. You can make a vodka cranberry. We're not pretentious. We want you to enjoy our product how you want to enjoy it.
They wanted it to be 100% American made, and that's exactly what Mastermind Vodka is. The bottles are made in Park Hills, Missouri. The corks come from Detroit.
You guys watch the tape right below the cork line?
The plastic sealant that we dip our bottles in comes from Montana.
And every single bottle is hand-filled.
We hand cork every bottle, we hand tape every bottle, we hand dip every bottle.
It is a small spirit company growing one sip at a time. A drink made in Pontoon Beach with pride. On a farm just outside Vandalia, Missouri, horses don't exactly run free, but chickens, about 40 of them, typically do.
Yeah, there's no fences, so they go wherever they want to go.
Roosters and hens that keep Matt Hemminghouse quite busy.
Oh, there's one.
Going hen house to hen house collecting eggs.
We have some ducklings, actually, in this chicken house.
But laying eggs is part-time work for these chickens.
She's one of my more popular girls.
At least for 16 or 17 of them.
Hey, Silky.
Who also strut their stuff
Come here, Silky.
as models.
I kind of started with just simple backdrops, basically just to document my flock, show all the chickens I've had.
It was more of a memory book than a work of art.
I mean, the original idea was a photographic family tree where I was going to have, you know, the matriarch and patriarch.
But that got a bit complicated. And then something else clicked. And well, he's been building props and posing poultry ever since.
I mean, anyone who has chickens know that they don't really sit still for more than a half a second.
Which makes what he does even more impressive, because these aren't tamed chickens and nothing is photoshopped.
It's just getting them when they're half asleep is the trick.
So he shoots them at night.
Oh yeah, here's a prop for my most recent set.
And if his models get too foul, he just flips a switch.
See, the beauty of the chicken is that if they start getting too active on the sets, I just kill all the lights, give them 15 minutes to kind of calm back down.
So far, he's captured 13 images he prints off in 3 different sizes, builds frames for, and loads up for art shows.
One thing we've learned is that you have to really like to hear other people's chicken stories, because everybody's got one.
Which is why people tend to flock to Matt's pieces. It towers several stories above Olive Street, a beautiful piece of our city's impressive architectural past. A building that's getting a bit of a facelift. And lots of new residents, including Elizabeth Tucker.
So this amazing architecture, these incredible ceilings, I mean, it's hard to believe that I'm going to live here.
It's hard to believe anyone is, since the building's been vacant since 1978. Before that, the arcade was home to office space on the upper floors and retail space on the lower floors.
A lot of people grew up actually going to the jewelry stores in the arcade building.
When the place reopens, Webster University will be on the first floor.
They'll actually have a theater and they'll have classrooms, and then they'll have some offices in here as well.
But starting on the second floor, You'll find 1, 2, and 3 bedroom apartment, luxurious lofts with high ceilings, cool fixtures, and great views, some of which are more affordable than others.
Some of them are reserved for reduced housing for the artist, which is really cool to be able to support the art community.
There will also be 11,000 square feet of shared studio spaces.
Soundproof rooms for musicians and art studios for actual artists of all different formats of art.
Fitting for a historic building that is a work of art.
It's amazing. Really excited just to plug into the neighborhood of downtown St. Louis.
This old-time drive-in in Belleville, Illinois is still making a splash.
My grandfather and his 2 brothers built it in 1949.
It took only 3 months to build, but it's still building a lifetime of memories.
Now, the original screen was more like a building, but there was a ladder on the inside to climb up to the top of the screen tower to change the light bulbs. There was a tornado in 1955 that took out the CinemaScope wings.
It was rebuilt along with the playground. You can say the heyday of the drive-in was...
Well, I would say during the 50s and early 60s. I mean, I think in the late 50s, the census on drive-in movie theaters was close to 5,000 of them.
Today, there are less than 400 surviving.
We're the only one in the St. Louis area. Well, Skyview mostly played movies on a second-run basis. After the Ritz came off of a movie or the Lincoln came off of a movie, then it would come out here at the drive-in. People were just staying home watching their VHS and beta tapes.
The home movie trend crippled the drive-ins.
My family sold off all of the other theaters around here, but they couldn't sell the Skyview. Nobody wanted to buy it, so they just had to run it.
Most St. Louis drive-ins turned into shopping malls and subdivisions.
During the 80s, we had a lot of teenage crowds out here then. Caused us nothing but trouble. They weren't coming out here to watch a movie, they were coming out here to get drunk and party.
Yeah, back in the 80s, yeah, we had some fun here.
Yeah.
I remember sneaking beer in here and watching movies.
If you haven't been to a drive-in theater in, let's say, 20 years, you might be wondering, well, where are the speakers? We got rid of speakers entirely, probably 13 years ago.
The audio is now broadcast over your radio. And the atmosphere?
We're looking at the family crowd, family audience. That's why we play. If we have a choice between a PG and an R-rated movie, we'll take the PG almost every time.
Hello. Do we have 2 adults tonight? Price gonna be $20.
Can't beat the deal. You get a double feature for $10 per adult and your kids are free.
People now come from all over.
We always see other families here. There's cars from Missouri, cars from Illinois.
10 sellouts during the summer, where we totally sell out both screens.
Where are you gonna get a screen that big?
Well, it's a third of the size of a football field.
The concession stand still serves traditional popcorn and hot dogs. And outside, as the sun goes down, moviegoers will experience a better, brighter picture.
Watching a movie out here now is like watching high-def TV on a 105-foot screen.
And creating the same kind of memories that I had when I was a kid.
And as some things change, the memories stay the same.
My intention, in fact, the plans are at some point in time to add a third screen here.